The assignment and sublet clause has to do with your right to transfer your lease to someone else if you decide you don't want to operate in your storefront anymore, but you still have term left on the lease. There's a lot to negotiate when it comes to assignment and sublet rights. Most of this negotiation can be handled in the lease rather than the LOI. Okay, so let's talk about the basics of assignment versus subletting. When you assign the lease, you are transferring all of your obligations to another party. They're essentially stepping into your place in the lease. This doesn't necessarily mean that you couldn't still be on the hook for the security deposit or guarantee if the assignee or the person you assign the lease to defaults, but that's to be negotiated by your lawyer in the lease. Subletting, on the other hand, is when you act as a mini landlord to a subtenant. So your subtenant answers to you and you still answer to the landlord. There are a lot of legal reasons why a party might prefer to assign a lease versus subletting or vice versa, but we're going to leave that to the lawyers. As far as the LOI is concerned, landlords are trying to limit your ability to assign or sublet the lease or take it away entirely. Remember, they've done a lot of diligence in selecting you to lease the space to. They don't want to give up that control to you to sublease or assign the lease to whoever you want. Tenants, on the other hand, want to keep their options as broad as possible just in case they need to get out of their lease. The most cut and dry assignment or sublet would be from you to an entirely different business, but this clause also comes into play if you're making significant internal changes. Maybe you get acquired or you restructure. Maybe you decide to franchise this location and bring in a different operator. The landlord may require specific approval rights in some of those situations, so you want to look out for that. In general, as a tenant, you want to be careful that the landlord doesn't have so much control that you need their permission to make these kinds of internal business changes. I should add that the decision to franchise a location that was previously corporately operated can be a little bit of a lightning rod. The landlord's fear with a franchise unit is that the franchisee may not take the same care in operating the business as you, the owner, would. Many landlords are going to want to maintain strict approval rights in that franchisee scenario. As always, your advisor will help you determine what's most important for your business specifically.